MAT 403 Mechanics Second. Name of the chapter is Central Orbits. Before this, we have studied two chapters. First is kinematics of a particle, and second is kinetics of a particle. Today, we shall see the new chapter Central Orbits. In this chapter, we shall see at first some basic definitions and some theorems, then differential equation of central orbits. And in next lecture, we shall see the law of force and velocity at any point of the path when the equation of central orbit in polar form. Introduction. In this chapter, that means in chapter central orbits, we discuss central force and the curve obtained under central forces, taking into consideration different coordinate system. At first, we shall see some basic definitions. First definition is central attractive force. If the force is acting towards the fixed point, then it is called a central attractive force. Means if we consider some fixed point and the force is acting towards this fixed point, then it is called as a central attractive force. Second definition, central repulsive force. If the force is acting away from the fixed point, then it is called central repulsive force. That means if we consider some fixed point and if force is acting towards this fixed point, then this force is called as a central attractive force. And if the force is acting away from the fixed point, then it is called as a central repulsive force. Now, third definition, central force. If the force is acting towards the fixed point or away from the fixed point, then it is called central force and the fixed point is called as a center of force or central of force. Okay, means any type of force, either attractive force or repulsive force, this force is called as a central force. For the definition, central orbit, the path described by the particle moving under central force is called as a central orbit. What is central orbit? It is a path described by the particle moving under central force is called as a central orbit. Fifth definition, apse. An apse is a point on the central orbit. That means we shall consider a central orbit. Then apse is a point on the central orbit at which the radius vector drawn from the center of the point has maximum or minimum value. Okay, are you getting what is apse? Apse is a point on central orbit at which the radius vector drawn from the center of the force has the optimum value. Optimum is either minimum or maximum value. Sixth definition, FC line, the line joining the center of the force and FC is called FC line. The line which joins the center of force and the point FC is called as a FC line, and distance between the center and the FC is called as a apsidal distance. This is a seventh definition. Apsidal distance. The distance between the center of force and the FC is called as a apsidal distance. Friends, remember all these definition for MCQ purpose. Then remark, this is also important for MCQ. Central force at a point is a function of the distance of the point from the center of force, which is called the law of force. What is law of force? The central force at a point is a function of the distance of the point from the center of force, and this is called as a law of force. We assume that central force is attractive force unless and otherwise stated. Means whenever we say the central force, means it is assumed that it is a attractive force. When we want the repulsive force, at that time we shall state it is a repulsive force. Otherwise, when we say central force, it is considered as a attractive force. Then theorem first. In central orbit, the aerial velocity is uniform. Uniform means the velocity is constant. We know that if m is a mass and a bar is the acceleration, then the central force F of r is given by ma bar is equal to minus F of r er cap, because force is mass into acceleration. Therefore, F of bar is written as ma bar, and which is equals to minus Fr er cap. We know that er cap is a unit vector along the radius. If the mass is unity, that means m is equals to 1, then the law of force is d2 r bar by dt square, means m is equal to 1. And what is a bar? A bar is d2 r bar by dt square, and this right hand side is taken as it is. And then using radial and transverse component of acceleration, this acceleration d2 r bar by dt bar is written as, we have seen this in previous lecture, left hand side is written by using radial and transverse component, and then as there is no transverse component, and therefore on right side there is no e theta cap, and therefore 1 upon r d by dt r square d theta by dt is equals to 0. And cancelling this r means multiplying both sides by r, it can be done as d by d theta is equals to listen again, cancelling r, that means multiplying by r on both sides, we get d by dt of r square d theta by dt is equals to 0. As the derivative of r square d theta by dt is equal to 0, it must be constant. That means r square d theta by dt is constant. But r square d theta by dt is written as magnitude of r bar cross v bar, which is equal to 2 times aerial velocity. Uh, you have to remember this relation, uh, which is given in the chapter motion of trajectories, and hence r bar cross v bar is equal to 2 times aerial velocity, which is equal to h bar, and this implies r bar cross v bar is equals to constant, and hence aerial velocity is constant, that means uniform. Means you have to remember that in central orbits the aerial velocity is uniform, that means constant. The central orbit is a plane curve. You have to remember this also. Central orbit is a plane curve. As we have r bar dot h bar can be written as r bar cross v bar, but r bar cross v bar is equals to 0. Also v bar dot h bar is equals to v bar dot r bar cross v bar is equal to 0. This implies that the position vector r bar of any point and velocity v bar at P is perpendicular to the constant vector h bar, and hence locus of r bar, that is locus of point which is a central orbit, is a plane curve. Means central orbit is a plane curve. It is simple, proof is not very difficult, and it is not necessary for our MCQ purpose. Then differential equation of central orbit. Here, to find the differential equation of the path of a particle moving under central force F bar directed towards O, it is not 0, direct towards O. O is a fixed point. Now here, if F of r be the central force acting on the particle of unit mass, then we have seen this in previous article, and this is also we have seen, and then we have seen this is equals to 0. Okay, and we have seen this also, r square d theta by dt is constant, which is denoted by h, and then d theta by dt is h upon r square, which is equal to h u square, where u is 1 by r, and again differentiating and simplifying, you will get d2r by dt square is equals to minus h square u square d2u by d theta square, and then putting in equation 1 in this equation, putting value of d2r by dt square, and then simplifying, we shall get d2u by d theta square plus u is equals to f of u upon h square u square. Okay, this is the required differential equation of path. Means differential equation of central orbit is d2u by d theta square plus u is equals to f of u h square u square. With usual notations, the equation of central orbit is, now here we have seen it is d2u by d theta square plus u is equals to f of u divided by s square u square is the required differential equation of the path. Here we have considered the differential equation of path of a particle moving under central force F bar directed towards O, center point. Then equation is dtu by d theta square plus u is equals to f of u h square u square. And now with usual notation, equation of central orbit is, you have to remember that equation of central orbit is 1 upon p square is equals to u square plus du by d theta whole square. Now we shall see the differential equation of central orbit in pedal form is h square p cube dp by dr is equals to f of r. You have to remember these two equation. This is the equation of central orbit, 1 upon p square u square plus du by d theta whole square. And if you want in pedal form, it is a h square upon p cube dp by dr is equals to f of r. Okay. Then with this lecture, uh, with these two equations, we shall stop our today's lecture. In next lecture, we shall start fourth article. Thank you.